not to go to drama school.
And so you didn't go to drama school at all?
No, I went to DePaul, and I got cut after 1 year.
Which is so crazy that they can do that.
Yeah.
Like, what does that, like, what, I don't know what the purpose of that is. Because the fact that they can, like, they can judge you. You've worked so hard your whole life to get into college, and then 1 year there, and they're like, we don't know. But you've only been there for a year? Like, how is that any... That's crazy.
It's really insane because they also are, like, judging you on, like, the things that people judge artists on, which are, like, ephemeral and, like, subjective and completely on the whims of them and totally devoid of whatever might be going on in your personal life. So, like,
so like insecurities or like weird competitiveness that they have with their students, which is a real thing.
Oh, I mean, trust me, I talk to people about my Yale competitiveness all the time. There's some good theater stories I can tell you about there. I've told most of them anyway, but my favorite is
I want to trade theater stories with you. I think that's the thing is, like, not a lot of people know how much of it, like, I can go toe to toe with any, you know, the dramaturgy of it all. Like, give it to me.
Well, you'll love this. Peter Brooks talked at our school my 3rd year, and this is when I was feeling my power the most. I was the most like, fuck everyone at Yale. Like, I hate all of this.
Right.
But I was really excited about, the empty space. Like, I was like, let's go, let's fill it up, And he started talking, and he's like 97. Like, he's like so old. He's not 97.
Father time.
Yes. And he had done this play that was so boring that literally everyone had fallen asleep. And also everyone in the school was like, this play is actively racist. But, I was still like, you know what? Like, he's been living in France. He doesn't understand racism. He's like 98, like whatever. So I was going to stay on chill about it. But there was like the first like Asian American female directing student in our like practicum with him, and she was like really upset about the play. And like first year she had all this passion. She was like, I have to say something. So she like
raises her hand.
Yeah, she raised her hand, and she like tearfully is like, Mr. Brooks, with all due respect, I have to understand some of the choices you made, because like, this play is called The Prisoner, and like the only person who had shoes on in the play was the white woman. All the characters of color, like, really bummed in on the shoes. Oh fuck, hold on.
Cut out for a second. I can hear you now. Play.
Great.
Play.
Great. Okay. So where did it cut out?
The only person in the play wearing shoes was the white woman.
Yeah, and there was a lot of things that were problem with the play, but like her big thing was the shoes, and she was like trying to cap it in like a directing question. She was like, "Why is it that you let only the white woman wear shoes, and all the people of color in this play like didn't have shoes on?" It was just like really weird and fucked up amongst like other things. And he was like, "Well, the reason it's called The Prisoner is because like some people are in a prison of their mind, and obviously identity politics have put you in a prison of your mind, and you're in a prison of your body, and maybe you need to like release yourself from that prison, and let's move on." So blah blah. And so then he just like moved on, and she's like crying, and like everyone else just sort of like, okay, Mr. Brooks. And I was like, whoa, and he was like obsessed because I had my hair in a big afro, and he had said something about how beautiful I looked earlier, so I was like, I have it in. And he was like, you. Right. And I was like, yeah, I just want to let you know that you just said to a young Asian woman who said very openly and vulnerably that like your work had rocked her, and she had a lot of real questions about it. And instead of like meeting that, you said that she was in a prison of her mind. Yeah, and I was like, that seems off. Like, what's going on? And he got like really uncomfortable, and then started speaking in French to the French woman, and all the teachers shut it down. Like, they were just like, we're not talking about this anymore, and like made us change the subject. After we've done like 2 years of them like doing all these like woke classes about how woke they are and how they're working on being woke.
But like when Father Time walks in, like, it's time to just keep your mouth shut. Like,
yes.
What?
Yes.
Seems a lot like what's going on in the country as we speak.
Absolutely. Wait, do you remember that thing I was talking about like the fake like the sort of like feeling that like there was like always like a college, like an electoral college where people were actually at seats or something doing something, and like they'd show it on CNN, like the electoral college, and be like, there's 5 new electoral colleges for this one and 4 new, and I feel like they're not really doing that.
Back in the day, yeah, that's not, no.
Now they just like let go of that fiction.
No. It's wild, Jeremy. It's wild. I would honestly switch places with you, especially right now.
Well, what's really funny is that none of the Europeans give a fuck. Like, I've tried to have conversations with them about it. Like, anytime, like, I get, like, anytime I call down to the concierge, because I'm, like, doing a job here, so, like, that's why I'm staying in this fancy hotel. And I'll be like, hey, guys, so I can't leave my room, but I just want to know, like, what are you guys thinking about the election? And they're like, oh, we're sort of worried about whether or not we're shutting down for the month, so I'm assuming that...
Right.
And I was like, yeah, no, Trump...
Right, yeah, sure, yeah. Cool, yeah. I'm worried, too. I'm super worried about Italy shutting down, too.
By the way, they are...
I mean, but I also get it. I'm sure that for especially the last 4 years, and everyone that I've spoken to that either lives in Europe or is from Europe or is living in Europe currently looks at what's happening in the country and is floored, is truly just flabbergasted. Doesn't make any sense to them. Doesn't make any sense to me either. But
yeah,
like, it's almost like they look at us like we're Barnum and Bailey. Like we're just it's a circus. And that's if they're interested in anything, it's just the entertainment factor. When it actually comes down to like the seriousness of what's happening in our country, they're like, oh no, we don't want to.
Yeah.
No, don't want to touch that one because it's a fucking dumpster fire.
What's really funny is that, like, I've been telling people that, like, some people have been like, well, you know what? Europe is really racist, too. And it's like, yeah, duh. Like, they have, like, real, like, crackheads, like, in their as politicians, too. But the difference is everyone has health care, so it's a little easier to stomach. Because at least it's, like...
If I'm going to be spending all this money on taxes, why am I not getting universal health care?
Right? I mean, because you know now. I mean, we met when we didn't know what real taxes were like, and now I think after this year, I'm like, oh, that's the taxes that rich people are complaining about.
I feel that, and I feel that. I feel it on a deep level. I'll stick with it. I'll do it if my insulin is taken care of. If I don't have to pay all this money for fucking insulin and needles, and diabetics are dying left and right because they can't afford insulin and they're being found in their apartment buildings with little baby bottles of insulin that are empty.
Yes.
Fucked up. I didn't know we were going to get political on this fucking live, but I will go there with you, Jeremy O'Harris. I think the main reason that I wanted to get on this live was just to tell you how much I love you and I miss you. And the last time I saw you was like over a year ago.
Over a year ago. Was it at that party?
Yeah, it was at Nick Kroll's.
Yes.
When shit was still relatively, like, safe and normal, and we didn't know what we were heading towards, and...
Yes. And you could, like, stand, like, really close to another person without fear.
Oh, are you kidding me? Shared a cigarette.
Yes.
And we might as well have been, like, you know, making out. Everyone was all up in everyone else's shit. And it was great.
Boyfriend. Are you guys still dating?
Yeah, here, Adam, come say hi to Jeremy.
It's going to be a long walk.
It's a long walk. He's wearing a great hat.
Hello.
Yo.
This is Jeremy.
How's it going?
Show your
I'm
hat.
I'm wearing my Yang hat.
He's wearing his Yang hat.
Oh my God. Were you in the Yang gang?
I'm still in the Yang gang.
Oh my God, I love that. I tweeted out something in support of Yang during one of the primaries, and I've never gotten more attention from a political tweet in my life. Like, I just said something, like, very casually. Yeah, I just said something really casually, like, oh my God, like, you said it right, Yang gang. And then they were like, 15,000 retweets, and, like, he liked it. And I was like, what? Like, This is how you do politics in the digital space.
You did it right. I tried doing that, and I mean, the Twitter sphere and Este Haim. Este has not been on the Twitter sphere for a very long time.
It's a really
It's a volatile place.
Yeah.
I had to like remove myself for a little bit. Especially I think that around like releasing records, one, and then two, just this everything from March till now has also just been not fun on the Twitter sphere.
But I haven't told you yet because I haven't seen you in a year. Your album is so fucking good. I've told Rostam 1,000 times.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful, so amazing. It was like
so
the soundtrack for like the first part of Quar for me. How did it feel to like be figuring all this stuff out, like how to release an album and make music videos with like your siblings during this?
It was definitely an exercise in creativity, which is usually fun, but when there's so many constraints, it definitely didn't feel very freeing, especially at the beginning of Quar, and like having to do music videos and being scared to, you know, we didn't know. I think we forget sometimes, I think, that like we knew nothing at the beginning of quarantine. And so I, as a type 1 diabetic, everything I was seeing was like, if you have type 1, like you're probably going to die.
Yeah.
If you get it and you're type 1, like you're probably going to die. So I was very, very scared and was quarantining on my own and went like full-blown castaway and painted a bunch of exercise balls to be Danielle and Alana to talk to, and like was in therapy like 4 times a week. Like Adam and I weren't seeing each other because we were quarantining separately because everyone was treating me like with very, very much like kid gloves. Yes. And like I was kind of like Bubble Boy. And then after like 2 months, we were like, wait, we have to put a record out. Like, don't we need to like make music videos and shit? And like, how do you do that without getting like me getting sick, me getting like possibly getting someone else sick? I don't know. Like, am I going to spread something? It was like, okay, we're going to make a music video where everyone is standing at least 6 feet apart at all times. We're doing it outside. No one is like, I saw my parents from afar. They stayed inside. Wow. Like it was, and there was one person on set and he was on the other side of the backyard, and we pressed play on the camera and that was it. Wow. And we choreographed the I Know Alone video on Zoom separately.
That's amazing.
So I guess it's kind of like it gives you more of a sense of like sink or swim, because it's kind of like either you do it or you don't, and like you hope for the best and hope that your vision is kind of executed in the right way.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, was it weird to like cheers my sisters over FaceTime when our record came out and then be like, cool, it's out? You know what I mean? Like, was that
Nick is less listening to it? Cool. Like,
I know, like, oh, thanks Stevie, like, thank you so much, sorry much, like, I'm sorry for cheating. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, now that stuff is crazy. I think it's more or less just, it's weird not being able to tour it and not being able to like be in the trenches with people and like hear the lyrics that really resonate with people, because you know the ones that people are singing along to are the ones that people are truly connecting to the most.
Yes.
And to not have that, I think, is just weird and kind of sad. I mean, I'm glad that it's out and that people are enjoying it, and like hopefully it's like a fucking like a warm blanket, because we were just so depressed when we made the record and all we talk about is loneliness and feeling isolated. So we were essentially time travelers, and we kind of knew like, oh wait, like 2020 is going to be like really fucking isolating. Maybe we should write a record about this. and you know, we were writing about different shit. I was writing about like feeling like my body was giving up. I don't even know if I told you this. Did you know that I have kidney disease?
No.
Live exclusive. So I have stage 3 kidney disease.
Wow.
So I was feeling like my body was giving out on me, and all I was hearing was like, in the next couple of years, you're going to need a kidney transplant. And like, we're gonna have to get you on dialysis when you're on the road. And I was like, this is like way too much reality for me to fucking deal with. I feel so alone. My family tries to empathize with me, but no one really understands unless they're going through it. And I appreciate their empathy, but at the same time, it's not like, it felt like no one understood. So I was living in like my own hell inside my own body, on top of having diabetes and on top of having Hashimoto's disease and my hair falling out and going blind and like not being able to feel my feet.
Yeah.
You know, all these different health, you know, you start to realize your mortality when you have these diseases.
You were sort of
that's
like
what I was
a classic Victorian like writer, you know, like just like riddled and like stuck in your home.
Yeah, Mrs. Crotchety was like, would be like my, or like Crotchworth, Mrs. Crotchworth. Like, just call me, like, I sound like I'm like a character in like Oliver.
Yes, but it's actually kind of beautiful that you guys were able to put all those emotions onto a record and then somehow have a record that, because I think that one of the weird blessings of this moment, I think, for that album was that it allowed people to actually listen to you guys as like a studio band and not just a band that gives amazing live performances, which I think had been like a way of undercutting your artistry before that. You know, like no one says it's undercutting, but they're just like, well, yeah, but like, you know, see them live and you really know. But this time people just got to actually listen to your lyrics and listen to the words like you guys in the studio together and the energy that's there, that's that simpatico nature that's like that's unparalleled by any other band right now. And I think I mean, it's true. And I think that was what was really special about this. And the fact that like so much of the lyricism was like hitting at these things that I think the country was trying to process, which I think that some of the other really good albums this year did, like, you know, Fiona's album, Moses' album, Perfume Genius's album. Like,
Moses' album got me through most of this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moses' album and the Arca album. It's like those two.
Oh my God. The Arca album?
The Arca album, catch me in my room jumping on my bed and then hitting my head on my ceiling and there being like a permanent dent that I have to now get fixed.
Yes.
From jumping on my bed and dancing around my room. Like the permanent reminder that like this record is so fucking amazing. My head almost went through my ceiling.
Fuck. I actually,
it's so good.
Point. And I'm so obsessed with the way that like lonely sad people got to like win this year, you know, because so often we get like overlooked for other things.
Oh my, well, I've been an emo girl since the year 2000, so I've always been a sad girl. I still shop at Hot Topic. Like my new metal posters are like in my room, just like in a corner waiting to be unraveled because I just moved. So all my corn poster, my whole poster, the new metal girl is alive and well.
I was listening. People were really shocked when I had this whole moment online this year where, oh yeah, remember when they said like Radiohead was like the blackest band or whatever?
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
That's actually not that totally makes sense. Okay, sure.
The Guardian wrote some article about it, and I was like, wow, like what is happening to the System of a Down erasure? And people were like, so it's the System of a Down, and I was like, yeah, psycho, groupie, cocaine crazy. That was me all of 8th grade, just like yelling that.
I mean, like, cut to me, like, trying to figure out all the lyrics to Chop Suey.
Yes. Because no one really had a way of doing it outside of getting that little thing out of the little pamphlet out of the jewel case.
Yeah, like the lyrics in the, like, I think this was just before like lyrics.com.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
right up. Like, I would just do that. Right on the table. You want to. Should we start a podcast where all we do is talk about new metal and our affinity for being sad people and music being the only cure, the antidote, if you will?
Yes. I mean, I do think that the only reason I got 12 Tony nominations is because of like how horrible this year was, and the fact that people sat at home and like, went on the internet for the first time. They're like, wait a second, all of this didn't just come from Jeremy's fucked up brain. Kids on TikTok are talking about slave play. It's like, yeah, but like that's what they've been doing since Tumblr started. Like, I've been trying to figure out why that was for a really long time.
Oh my god, my Tumblr. Also, congratulations on 12 Tony nominations.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Jeremy,
Yeah,
that's insane.
it's really crazy.
And so incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. I still feel like Carrie, I'm sure you feel like this every time something good happens where you're like, yeah, but like it's not like real. And it feels exacerbated by like the fact that like no one has told us when it's happening. They're sort of like, so you got all these nominations, and we're like, so what's happening with the Tonys? They're like, really lovely to hear from you. Really excited about your Tonys. We'll get back to you at some point. Thank you for your questions. Talk to you later. And you're like, wait, no. But like, is there a ceremony happening? Like, is it a Zoom? Like, I've been joking that it's a Zoom. And they're like, we'll get back to you soon.
Yeah, you mean like the people around you, like your team, is just like, don't think about it. Like it's gonna happen. And you're just like, but wait a minute, this is like one of like the moments of my life. Like, I'd really appreciate it if I knew exactly what I'm like walking into. How excited am I supposed to get?
Like, do I get an actual outfit, or is this literally something that's happening in my living room? And will I look crazy if I have like a couture designer design an outfit for me? Because that's what I would want to do.
Jeremy, you have to do that regardless. You have to promise me that you're going to do that regardless.
I'm going to get an outfit. Someone's making an outfit.
I want to get an outfit too.
Yeah. I mean, I would, that's the other thing. I wish that I could just be getting wasted with all my friends at some party afterwards. Because, like, my thing was that, like, I cried before. Everyone was like, how did it feel to get the 12 nominations? I was like, what's funny is that I decided with everyone for the last, like, 6 months that we were going to get maybe 3. And so we had a Zoom call with my entire team, like an hour before the nominations came out, and like everyone was there, and I like thanked everyone, and I was like, I want everyone to give the Tony speech that they should be giving, but we probably won't get because they're gonna ignore our play, and let's just have this moment. And I wept, I cried, we like loved on each other, we talked about all these stories, because like most of the cast has been a part of the play for like 4 years. Like 2 people in the cast were in the very first reading at Yale. 2 of the other people I wrote roles for, and they read them when the play was 20 pages on our way to the beach, right? Like, it's like shit like that. And so we did this whole thing. We told all the stories, and then the Tonys came out, and my mom was calling me. She was like, I think you got the most in history. And I was like, Mom, I didn't even count. Like, I don't think that's real. And then all of a sudden, all the other texts came in, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that is real. And everyone was like, how do you feel? How do you feel? Are you emotional? I was like, I think I just gave up all those emotions because, like the real thing happened on that Zoom call with my whole team. You know, it was like this weird thing with your sisters about the album. It felt weird, but it did feel good too, you know?
100%. But just to really bring it home, though, how good does it fucking feel?
It feels really good. I mean, the best part about it is that Young Jean Lee literally told me that the play was so boring that it made her want to kill herself. The second act of my play was so boring that the direct quote is, the second half of your play is so fucking boring, I literally wanted to kill myself, and I would have if I could. You need to cut it, Jeremy. You need to cut it. And I added like 10 more minutes onto the play, and it ended up getting more Tony nominations than any play in history. So.
And what does that teach us? What does that teach us? Do not listen to anyone.
Yes.
We were like, we want to call the record Women in Music Part 3, and they were like, no.
Are you serious?
We're on the track.
Why did they not want you to call it that?
They're like, you're going to alienate your male fan base.
What if you had called it Men in Music Part 3? Would that have been more or less alienating?
Come back and be like, okay, women's music hits, so we're not going to do that. Men in Music,
Yes.
Part 3.
But wait,
Like,
when
everyone's
you
like,
guys gonna
oh,
name an
bravo.
album, Chekhov's Three Sisters.
What?
When are you gonna name an album Chekhov's Three Sisters? Because I feel like that's just like waiting for you.
I think that might be my solo project.
Okay. You have to do that.
I miss my Chekhov Three Sisters.
Yes. Or maybe I'll just like work with you on an adaptation. You will be in it, and it'll be a musical of Three Sisters. You get to play Masha.
I'm first of all, like verbal contracts are binding in California. So I'm saying yes.
Great. Okay, it's done.
We're bound.
We're bound. This is happening. Someone
You heard it here
put
first.
this on Pitchfork now. It is happening.
I can't wait to wake up to all the salacious articles about how Este IG and Jeremy O'Hara's team up for Three Sisters musical.
Three Sisters musical coming next season. It's gonna be one of the first things that's in the Winter Garden when it comes back, because they're not doing the Music Man.
Right. No, who needs that?
Yeah.
I'll see you in May.
Yes.
I'll see you in May when Broadway opens up again.
Wait, who else are we gonna cast in this? This is a really important thing.
Okay. Definitely. Can I say wait, I need to think about this is like way too much pressure to be put on the spot.
I get it. I would just say this. Can you text PTA right now and tell him that I want him to direct the like filmed version of our play? Because he saw Slave Play and sent me an email.
Oh, don't worry. We talked about it. We talked about it. And I was like, oh, I know. I was like, I'm friends with him. I know him. We're friends. I'm cool, I swear. It's like, please, Paul, like, anytime, like, please let him think I'm cool. I still feel like, even being around him to this day and, like, talking to him, I'm still like, I don't know why you even talk to me.
I mean, I will say he is top tier everything for me. But when because I've never met him IRL. He just sent me this email. I responded. He didn't respond. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay.
But I met Maya at the Vanity Fair party, and she was like, "Oh my God, you wrote Slave Play." I saw that was my partner, and I was like, "Wait, fuck, you saw it too?" First, PTA didn't tell me that you saw it. Second of all, what was that like? Third of all, I love you.
No, she's not of this world.
She's literally not.
She's an alien. Like, I don't know how she has the talent. And, like, not only that, but, like, she's an amazing actress, like, singer, whatever, all that stuff. But she's also, like, an incredible mom. Like, to see her be a mom and, like, being so, like, attentive and, like, nurturing, and then being, like, a badass partner to Paul.
Oh, my
God.
God.
She really... It's something that I aspire to. It's inspiring for me because I want to do all those things too. I want to be a mom, and I want to like still be able to like work all the time and like not feel like I have to like stay at home. And
yes,
because us as women, we feel that pressure all the fucking time.
I mean, absolutely. I can only imagine. I mean, I'm feeling right now this weird thing where I'm like, oh, is this why my dad left? Because it's like really hard to be a man with a partner. Like I was just like, oh, most men just aren't psychologically like able to process like doing more than one thing, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that's like completely male. I'm sure it's everyone as well, but like I'm processing it through the lens of my maleness and my queerness, and like being a creative who like has to give like my emotional life over to my work and to someone else. I find that
it's a lot.
Exhausting. Yeah,
it's a lot and not easy.
Yeah, and the fact that so many women I know do that so consistently and so well is wild to me. Nora Ephron has this whole thing about like juggling balls, which is weird. She talks about how like being a mom and like a boss means that you have to like be comfortable juggling a lot of balls and recognizing that
Yep.
some balls are made out of glass and some balls are made out of rubber. And so, like, even though you have 70 balls in the air, you have to know which ones you can drop. And be okay with them falling and which ones you can't. And she said sometimes a glass ball will fall and it'll break and it'll shatter and it'll be bad for everyone. But if you are aware that you've had to drop it for an important reason to catch some other glass ball, then like that's the whole thing.
Well, that's life being a woman in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Especially one like Nora Ephron, who truly is such a goddamn legend and a boss, and like has such an incredible legacy and had a family.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, that was one of the main reasons I was like, oh yeah, Mom, like you get the first spoils of this like 10-year journey you've helped me be on. Because like my mom, after I was out of the house, like was like still like helping me live in LA. And like sometimes like, you know, when I was being fiscally irresponsible, right? It's like being like, okay, I'll get you out of that bind, even though she was in like 15 binds I never knew about until like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Where she's like, oh yeah, like I avoided the light bill for that month because you needed $500. And I was like, oh fuck, I went to Coachella and paid my rent, but I also went to Coachella. Like,
Right.
why? You know?
No more. Let's not go to Coachella anymore.
Coachella's done forever.
Let's not. I was gonna say, instead of that, why don't you just come to LA and like we'll have our own Coachella and like
Yes.
like next to a body of water. I have to offline with you also because I need to tell you about the PTA project.
Oh yes, I want to talk about that. I know,
but I can't do it on the web. I have to sidebar with you. We have to go into a breakout room.
Yes, that's one of those moments where it's like I signed an NDA, but then you talk.
I signed an NDA. However, I can circle of trust. I can tell you.
Yes.
But I love you a lot, and oh my God, Tommy Dorfman.
Tommy Dorfman is here, looking gorgeous.
I love Tommy Dorfman.
I know. And I don't know if you saw. Did you get to see Tommy and Daddy?
No.
Tommy was amazing in Daddy. Tommy's another real stage queen. Really ate up the scenery. You know, chewed it up real right. There's this moment when Tommy would jump in the pool every night, and the way Tommy would come up, they'd like swirl their hair around, and like it would just get on everyone in the audience, and it was like so delectable and so.
Oh my God!
Like,
I would.
Isabelle Huppert.
I'd be like this. Get it all over me. I love them so much.
Oh, my everything. Wait, before you go, we got like 10 questions. So let's get a couple of these out. I want to know this too. How are Alana and Danielle?
They're both doing very well. Yeah. I mean, I signed an NDA. I can't divulge too many details, but there was a rumor that our band isn't together anymore. That's not true. We're all very much together and very much love each other, and we're going to be a band until my tits are at my knees. So
wait, how could someone start a band? Like, how did they
we perpetuated the rumor, but just to clarify.
I was just like, wait, what?
We were being trolls for like a day.
Gotcha.
Because Alana was working, and so she couldn't be at a certain thing that we were doing, and everyone was like, "Is Alana not in the band anymore?" And we were like, "Yeah, we kicked her out."
Oh my God, that's so good.
It was mean. We apologized, but we only let it like perpetuated the rumor for like a day because then we felt bad. But no, Alana is in the band, Danielle is in the band, I'm in the band. We're gonna be a band until, again, like I'm in a walker with a bass attached to the walker, and I'm held up by puppet strings.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's never gonna end.
I love how much these kids seem to know in the comments. They're like, oh, this, and I'm assuming you're all kids. You might be 45. You could be older than this. want to believe that everyone's fans are younger than them, so that like people have someone to look up to, right? Like, and I know that's probably not true with like Phoebe Bridgers. Like, I'm a fan of her, and I'm assuming I'm not younger than her, but maybe.
And I'm older than you.
The longer I'm on TikTok, the more I'm like, fuck, like, why didn't TikTok come out when I was young and really thoughty? Like, I could have killed on TikTok as like a 22-year-old.
Oh, as a 14-year-old, I'm thinking. Like,
I'm thinking about the 22-year-old, like, out gay boys who, like, do everything, like, shirtless and, like, skanky, and, like, which I can't do now. Like, I'm like, I look great without my shirt on, but, like,
wait, why do you think you can't do that now?
I don't know. I feel like it's just like I'm already like riding the line of like good taste as like a culture maker, and like my like as a 30-year-old culture maker. I don't need to be online like taking off my shirt.
It's not on brand
for me. It's not on brand for me. It's just not for me. But I do wish that I was 22 again, because then I could.
I wish you could for self-respect.
Maybe I'll do that too. I think I have to do it with like some irony, and it has to be like about theater somehow. I'm like like making fun of like Hadestown, which I love, but like, you know.
Right. Well, could you do like a monologue from like, I don't know, like a Ionesco play?
Yeah, Ionesco, which is really good, but I could also do any William Inge play, because he always has like one hot guy with the shirt off.
That could be you.
Yeah, that might be the thing.
I think that you could tweak it to make it on brand.
Wait, who is Matthew McConnell?
Who's Matthew? I don't know. Who's Matthew McConnell?
You said, Jeremy, you are black gay Matthew McConnell.
Matthew? Do I need to look this up?
I'm gonna Google it. Let's Google it.
Can you Google that? Matthew McConnell. The only McConnell I know is the guy that makes ice cream.
I don't know who the ice cream McConnell is.
McConnell's ice cream?
Mitch McConnell. Oh,
Mitch McConnell.
They meant McConaughey. He said he meant McConaughey, but it just spelled wrong. Yeah.
That's maybe the nicest thing I've ever heard.
Amazing. And like Matthew McConaughey's return when he came back as Lincoln Lawyer, which I saw by myself at the Santa Monica Promenade movie theater, is something I aspire to. Like, disappearing for a good 5 years after doing like some, you know, maybe not very artistic work, and then being like, oh no, but I actually am an artiste. And here I am in Lincoln Lawyer. And then,
but also doing Lincoln Lawyer, but also at the same time being the spokesperson for Lincoln Cards.
Yes. Which was a really smart, like, dual branding. I didn't really know you could pull that off, but he did.
Until Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
He got that coin.
Yeah. And that was
probably a couple of cards.
I've been finding out a lot about people's coin recently, because people just like are just like, oh yeah, no, I did that deal, and like I'll be at a dinner with someone. I'm like, so I found out that a specific actress, who I'll tell you about offline, who
I love a blind item.
I don't know if she's won an Oscar. She's like Oscar adjacent. Who is the face of a major fashion brand? Made $11 million off of her face being the face of this fashion brand, and she doesn't even have social media. And I was like, so like what? And like, she's not someone that you would be like, oh, she's like one of the great like beauties of our time. She just like is a girl.
Okay, let me do the math. Wait, I'm like carry the two. I'm like doing the math in my head.
Think about it for a second. She's
my
not
age?
Zendaya. I think she's like your age, yeah. Like for me, like Zendaya getting $11 million to put her face on anything, I'm like, yeah, just give her 30. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Because that's like a real like
give her all the dollars. If I had $30 million, I would just give it to Zendaya. Like, unsolicited, I would just like take my money.
Yes. I will say this: your children are really good. We're gonna get off this live now.
My kids know. My kids are
They
smart.
do. They really just be out here just being like, and it's this one. And you're like, wow. You also are at these dinners.
The ear is to the ground, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's offline. Can we offline and we'll discuss? Because I wanted to ask you about something too regarding PTA.
Great.
Okay, cute. This has been
Okay.
great.
This has been amazing.
I miss you so much. It's like painful.
I miss you too. I'm coming back to America very, very shortly. I'm thinking. So okay, carry the two. I think I'm gonna be back in America in like 2.5 weeks, and I'm going to Thanksgiving with my mom, and then December I'll be in LA.
I'm not doing anything in December.
Yeah, we can have like a sort of like outside like situation. You know what I mean? Like I've been in Europe for so long, I don't know how to socially distance, but we'll just be.
Do you need a place to stay? You can stay with me.
No, I have a boyfriend now. Yeah, he lives in LA. I forced him to come to Europe with me.
We need to offline.
Yeah.
We need to really debrief and unpack everything you just said.
Yeah, the last time you saw me, we had just started, figuring things out.
Yeah, you made no mention of said boyfriend.
Yeah. Because it was one of those things where I was like, well, I'm not going to keep this.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Been there. The first 2 or 3 months are always that way.
Yeah. It was like they're going to get bored with me, or I'm going to be crazy, or they're going to hate my life.
Or both.
Yeah.
Or all three.
Yes.
Wait, we love that you found one that you can still hang out with and like.
I know. We've spent
Rare.
every day together. Because also, that's the thing, the reason I don't know how to socially distance anymore is because we've been spending all our time in a car or in a hotel room or at a restaurant. But, we've been together the entire time. For...
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go write a song about that.
Okay. I'm going to text you. Your number's still the same, I'm sure. But if not, I'll just DM you. And then let's find a time this week to hang out.
I know. You should. Are you just going to stay up?
I'm going to probably go to bed in 15 minutes. I'm going to see if anything new. Because I think that there should have been some new update on the election.
It's so confusing. I recommend not even dipping your toe because I'm getting so many conflicting.
But what I'm really interested in is Georgia, because Georgia is almost done counting. They just were like, we're just going to count for the rest of the night.
Wait, Adam, what was the last thing that we heard about Georgia?
They're all close. Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada are all very close.
Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada are all extremely close.
What's really funny is that, last night, Fox News just called it for Arizona. Last night, they were like, Arizona is Biden's.
I mean, I did a dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's nothing, I don't think anything is really going to be concrete. We're not really going to get, semi-concrete answers, I think, until tomorrow.
I know. I love that, that Nevada was just like, you know what? We're not going to deal with this right now. We just can't. Wait, what? And Arizona was like, yeah, we're going to wrap it up too, even though there's fully people outside with guns protesting their voting.
I know.
And then Georgia, they're like, yeah, we're just going to stick it out through the rest of the night because we literally were burned down during the Civil War. We can handle this. This person, I don't know if I'm saying your name wrong. Nakaya, who's an indigenous playwright. I've been looking at you since you retweeted the thing the other day, and I'm really excited about what you do, and I can't wait to read your work. You seem really cool.
Nakaya's on here?
Yeah, I just saw them tweet, and again, I'm probably saying your name wrong. I
I
very
apologize for saying it wrong too.
yeah.
Well,
okay.
I'm
Texting you
still
very
praying
soon.
Biden 2020. Here we go, everyone.
I mean, and also just thinking about the fact that he is going to be our oldest president ever. It is really interesting to think about what the possibilities of like a Kamala president would be like, because it does feel so Veep that it just like it just feels so Veep.
Don't get me started. If I said that didn't cross my mind.
She's the funniest person in the world to me.
That vice presidential debate was my favorite. I'm obsessed with her. I love her so fucking much. And the other piece of good news is we got Jackie Lacey. Oh, Trevor Noah.
I know. We were at a party together one time, and I tried to like be like, "Oh, we're like both here," and he was just sort of like, "I'm straight, dude," and I was like, "Oh no, I get it. It's not like that." Like, yeah, but he didn't say that. It was like that was the energy. That was just sort of
that was what he was like putting out there. That was the energy he was putting out.
Like maybe trying to hit on someone there, but I was just sort of like, yeah, no, I get it, but like thought we'd like talk politics or something at this like 3 a.m. party situation. I mean, that's how dumb I can be at these parties. I forget that people are humans who are generally just trying to get something wet at that hour.
I mean, I think but I think that like humans are also able to do both.
That's true. That's true.
Like the humans I want to hang out with, like want to be able to have a conversation, but also like make my pussy wet, like simultaneously.
I think it's I think it's a little bit of both.
So
I also just think I don't know why like my favorite straight men in Hollywood are the ones who are like, I mean, yeah, like let's get everything wet.
Right?
All of them are wet. I'm like, you are cool straight. They're cool
that
straight.
makes me upset about Trevor Noah though, because I feel like I had my suspicions about him, but it sounds to me, from everything I've heard, it's just that he thinks everyone is hitting on him all the time.
I mean, he wouldn't be completely wrong.
But no, I've heard that from other people too.
What?
I've heard that from other people too.
Yeah.
The good news is I never think anyone's hitting on me.
That's the thing. I do think that that's why I revere people who do walk around like that, because I'm just like, it's so cool that you can just live in that realm where you can just like believe so completely that everyone's hitting on you. What I love are the people who are like so hot that like they know that everyone's hitting on them, but they pretend like they don't, kind of to save you the embarrassment. Like Harry. Like I think Harry is one of those people who's like, I know that you want to have sex with me.
Yeah, but everyone in the room is thinking the same thing.
But he's always just like, oh, that's so funny. Like, well, I'm British. And you're like...
Harry also has a really great way of honestly making you feel like you're the only girl in the room / boy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that coming from Harry Styles.
Same. I think it's the pearls.
I appreciate that. Even though I know, like, full well he's not hitting on me. I'm just another girl in a long line of girls.
I've definitely had some moments where I'm like, is he in love with me? And then I've had to remember, like, he's literally not. Because if he were,
it would be a resounding yes, and we would already be married.
Yeah, it's like we'd be walking down the aisle, but...
Yeah, but that's not the case. But I do appreciate him doing that. I really do love him for that. Because I will bank that moment and have that moment to now tell my grandkids.
Yes.
That Harry Styles may or may not have been hitting on me when I looked like this. Like, it's unclear.
I also hate that one of his styles people has probably recorded all of this. Like, they have, like, a precognition. Then they were like, they're going to talk about Harry Styles in 5, 4, 3, 2, record.
On the interweb tomorrow.
Yes.
What did I say Pitchfork?
I should just tell it. We should do another one of these and just like create like really false celebrity rumors that we can just start. Like,
Oh, I have so many I'm already thinking of.
yeah, like remember the time that like Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes asked us to have you know what? Never mind. We'll talk about
Yeah, we
that.
can talk about that. We can talk about that. That crazy night in Miami.
Yes, we'll offline about it.
We'll talk about it. People in the comments are like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get off before I say something that's gonna get me in trouble.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.